What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod and welcome to their episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat. Now first off, let me give a couple of quick shoutouts. The first one being to ParadoxDemonHawk. The second one being to Dawson B12 is awesome. The third one going to Yugioh 2347. And the fourth one going to Team Scrub 12. If you guys could, please go check out their channels. I shall have links to them in the description bar below, as well as in annotations somewhere on the screen. If you could like, comment, write, and subscribe to their stuff, I'm sure any kind of help and feedback would be most appreciated by them. Now, I know a lot of you guys are aware that the North American World Championship qualifier is taking place this weekend, right now in fact, as I filmed this video, and as you can see, I was unable to attend Nationals this year. I very much wanted to go to the event, but my job was unwilling to allow me the time off from work. Now, as you guys in America know, that our 4th of July, our independence is a national holiday for us, is coming up in just a few days, and we have a lot of big sales at the retail store that I work at for that holiday, and they have sales that last on the holiday and the weekend before, and that's essentially why I couldn't get the time off from work, is because we're having a lot of big sales and they wanted me there at my job. And as much as I wanted to attend the event, I just can't say, screw rent, screw my bills, I'm gonna go Yugi it up, because that would just be, I don't know, crazy. But with the World Championship qualifier happening this weekend, it kind of got me thinking about the first tournament that I ever attended. And I want to kind of take you guys back to, I don't know, quite a few years ago now. I know basically what had happened was I'd been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a little while, probably, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, and I wanted to take that leap. I wanted to be competitive. I wanted to go to an actual tournament. And I remember a friend of mine from school was like, hey, we have these tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh! Like every Saturday night. Would you like to go to them? And I was like, tournaments? Where? And he was like, I'll pick you up, I'll take you. And I was like, oh, friggin' awesome. This is going to be tight. And so he picks me up, and we're driving, and then I noticed that we're pulling into like a huge parking lot. There's people everywhere. I'm like, where the heck are we? How big is this Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament? And we get out of the car, and I realize that we're at a swap meet, like a nighttime swap meet or a flea market or whatever you guys want to call it. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? Are we stopping to get something before we go to the tournament? And he's like, no, the tournament is here. And I was like, what the hell? And so we go through the swap meet, and we're going through all the booths of people selling random stuff here and there, and we make it over to a little booth where somebody's selling Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 other people there, and they're playing their cards and stuff. And I was like, what are we doing? And he's like, this is where the tournament is. And I was like, at a swap meet? And he was like, yeah, it's great. And I was like, they have Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments at swap meets? And then so we sat down, we registered, we paid our $5, and we entered the tournament. And my first tournament was in all places you can imagine at a swap meet. Now the time period that this takes place in is the time of IOC, Invasion of Chaos. So Chaos Emperor Dragon, Black Luster Soldier, Dark Magician of Chaos, Chaos Sorcerer, all these cards had just come out, and they were all the rage. They were filling up everybody's decks left and right. People were packing in lights and darks so they could play these cards, and it was like a real quick, fast-paced kind of time in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the tournament was not going to be very long because matches back then were extremely fast. Because the tournament was not Swiss at all. It was just, round elimination, like a top 8 kind of format. And, once you lost, you were out of the tournament. And so, I was doing okay. I had beaten 1, 2 people, and then I was in the finals already somehow. And I was like, man, I'm going to win my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. This is awesome. And then I played a guy that had a really good Chaos deck, and I remember he had summoned out his soldier, hit my Magician of Faith, I grabbed a card, he hit me direct for 3k to the face, and then he'd summon out his Chaos Emperor Dragon, blew the hell everything up, including his face down monster, which was a Sangan. He went and grabbed his Yada, and then the next turn I was like, I drew, and whatever it was nothing that was helping me. It was like maybe a Harpy's Feather Duster or something like that. The dude summoned his Yada, and he's like, dink. I was like, okay. And then it goes back to my turn. I can't draw. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he goes back to his turn. He draws. He summons Yada, and he's like, dink. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm going to get Yada locked in my first tournament in the finals. And I lost the game. And that's essentially what happened in my first tournament experience. Was I made it up to the finals, which really isn't saying much because there's only about 8 people in the tournament to start with, and I got Yada locked in the end. So, in the comment section below, let me know how your first tournament went. What format was it in? Was it Go Control? Was it Teledad? Was it Diamond Dude Turbo? Was it Dark Arm Return? What was it like for you to enter your first tournament? How far did you get? How well did you do? All that kind of cool stuff. And I guess that's it for this week. This is GalacticGod.